Parking Lot Wednesday. We've changed. We've told them that.
Are we on?
We're always on. But
We're always on. We're vaudeville folk. Born in a trunk. Live from the parking lot of Sacramento Natural Food Co-op. We're cooperating with them. Anyway, this is Parking Lot Wednesday, which I think is probably going to be our new routine for a while.
Yeah, it seems to work out better.
And when it's Parking Lot Wednesday, usually we're pretty much on time. We're only 5 minutes late this morning. And we're going to do some shopping. And Constance has something to say. We've been watching about...
well, first we're going to talk about...
Yes, so hang on just a second. I'm going to turn it. She's very lovely this morning.
Lon likes red.
She's especially...
Lon likes it when I'm the lady in red.
There's the lady in red.
It's got to be too close because I know where your arm is.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Not really. Anyway, we've been going... I'm sure Lon's been... I told him to stop yesterday. Lon's been whining about our... Well, and because, we're both pretty much nuts in a different direction about our washer going out and our refrigerator going out for 8 days. And we lost a lot of food because, even though we had a loaner for 5 days, I think of that, a small refrigerator, and had to go to the liquor store to get bags of ice. We kept the liquor store afloat with buying ice.
And amused.
Yes.
Yeah.
They said they were happy I wasn't coming in the next day because of the refrigerator, but they were anyway. But they were glad I got a refrigerator finally. But I found out anyway. It's been a terrible ordeal, and thanks to the help from some people.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
It helped a lot. And then as soon as that was over, the washing machine that we actually figured out finally with a lemon, because a washing machine shouldn't cost you $800 in 7 years to have fixed. 2 major parts. So anyway, and that's getting fixed tomorrow. So yeah, and because I've always bought Kenmore. The same thing, the refrigerator we bought a Kenmore before I found out that the Kenmore service is gone. So I used to just brag about Kenmore because every appliance we've had, and my parents too, has been Kenmore. And they used to have great service guys, but their service is now canceled. So I think whatever you're going to buy that's Kenmore is going to be the dregs of what's left of what nobody else wants to buy. And you'll have to get someone else whose service is Kenmore. And not that there's not impossible, I'm just not really recommending it anymore because I think they're selling the lemons that are left. So anyway, it was awful. But anyway, the washer repairman is a genius.
Constantine.
Yes, he's. I mean, if I were his mother, I'd be very proud of him.
She's probably back in Ukraine or something.
I think they're. Yeah. Anyway, they're wonderful. He's wonderful. He had this diagnostic little, like a phone thing, could listen and help him too. And he was so patient. He waited an hour to go through the cycle twice, and the machine would not screen for him. So we filmed it, and he listened to that film on the phone for I don't even think 10 seconds, and he knew what it was right away. She needs a new transmission. So anyway, her name is Marie Louise. Anyway, she's a French Londos. This one is. Anyway, so.
Yes.
So yeah, she's pretty frail. So anyway, we found out he's coming tomorrow to fix it.
Yes.
Early even. So, but he was really a genius and a nice guy.
Yeah.
So that part was good. We met somebody who was nice and that we'd recommend. Not cheap, but I don't think any of them are. I guess the parts are very expensive to these machines. So I'd say it's over, but there's been overlapping ordeals of crap, and I find out that talk to my cousin, it's happening to all other side of her relatives, and the neighbor across the street says it's happening to her, everybody she knows, overlapping levels of crap. I'm hoping all of you are somehow managing to surf the overlap levels of crap, waves of crap that are happening everywhere. And anyway.
As a matter of fact, if somebody isn't, if this has just been a perfectly delightful time in your life and
please,
everything else,
post something. Why? How?
send us a lock of your hair. Okay.
Yeah.
Please, we need some of. Everybody needs some of that. But if you're having a real good time during all of this, yes, send us. Give us some DNA.
I'm sure we could have a better time too if we knew how to surf better. Okay, if we were more equipped for the earth. Speaking of the earth and everything falling apart, of course our administration is bamboozling somebody and some donor, giving them $1 billion and some dollars to put roads and destroy Big Bend National Park.
Big Bend National Park
with the border wall where no one crosses. At the lowest rate of anybody crossing there at all, and even Republicans in Texas are throwing a fit because
even Greg Abbott,
because they're throwing fits over the fact that everybody loves that park. Don't touch it, and they've already secretly started destroying it, building roads and stuff. They can do it without anybody. And there's also part of it has to do with the Sonoran Desert, and the cottonwood trees. There's like a 200-year-old mother cottonwood tree
right by the Rio Grande River,
River that nobody wants anyone to touch. And there's women like guarding the trees, which I think is pretty holy. And the reason I want to talk about that was, first of all, hurting cottonwood trees, and I will go slowly. I turn step by step. I want to go sit with them because I grew up in Nebraska, and Nebraska has these meandering, low, wide rivers that of assorted sizes that grow according to the season, as much as they're allowed to, considering there's levees that contain them way too much. Anyway, but when we grew up in the 50s and 60s in Columbus, Nebraska,
right by the Loop River.
Yeah, it was kind of very close to the Loop River, which is which is next to the Platte River. They run side by side. I think they used to run as one
together,
big thing, but things happen. Anyway, the happy hunting ground. In the summer, you would see things like, well, it was before the huge GMO corn crop. But I remember when they started putting out the signs, people proudly that they were
Roundup Ready.
Well, no. That they were the names of the hybrids and new kinds of corn that they were planting in their monocrop fields. I remember the signs up because we'd go ride in the country because we always had to get right out in the countryside.
And you won't have to save your own seeds. You can
buy them.
You can buy the one.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a total scam. Anyway, it's starving people around the world. But before that, there used to be fireflies, and in Columbus and all of Nebraska. And at night, you could just walk around at night or ride your bike at night, and swarms of fireflies. It was so beautiful. They're becoming extinct in the United States because of all the pesticides and herbicides, and no more riparian creeks running clean. Because I think that's where they like to live, and I think they breed near the Cottonwoods, which are riverside riparian trees, okay? And they used to be my favorite because in the summer, especially in the parks, we had a big park in Columbus, but if you live especially on the south side of town, which is closer to the Loop River, you would see these, it was just like my neighbor Totoro.
Yes.
Cottonwood seed balls. Well, why? They're called cottonwoods. The seed balls, like light, they're round balls with seeds in them, but they're so light that they float, and they don't just float down. Oh no, they float sideways.
And
they float around.
And they raise up.
Yeah, they raise up. It's beautiful. For a few weeks.
And the sound that leaves me.
Oh, yes. And cottonwood trees are always my favorite. and they have silver leaves on one side, and they're by the river, and when the river breeze blows, you hear a rustling sound. And I found out later that that's the rustling tree, I think that's what they're called, was sacred to the Native Americans in that area. And I just found out today that they're sacred all along wherever the cottonwood tree grows. They're sacred trees.
It demands worship. Yeah.
Because they're
And
like,
I can see why.
they don't just grow along rivers. If you let them grow in places, they attract rivers, they attract streams, they attract water. So they're awesome trees. And they get very old, and they're just very beautiful.
And your altar.
Oh, and I haven't been back to Nebraska for a long time, but I always would bring back fresh cottonwood branch from the river when I would go, because I'd go sit on the sandbar, because it's what you do if you go. You make a pilgrimage back to your own Ganges. And so I have some a small branch of dried cottonwood leaves on my little personal altar, and I've always had, because I don't know, but I'm thinking about all of you must have some kind of no, I did that because personally they were meaningful to me, and then I found out that they were sacred to the Native Americans, which I was very pleased to find out, because since I was born there. I was born there too. And you all must have some kind of childhood memory of something that you consider sacred and have maybe forgotten about it, and maybe you should investigate. I mean, you know, it probably isn't fireflies and cottonwood balls floating in the air, but, you know, some kind of memory.
Well, something that you never considered that you were observing as being sacred.
Right. It was just precious to you.
It was just precious.
A precious personal memory, but maybe it's not only sacred to you, but to other people. But even if it is only you, that's something you can use as a talismanic center of attracting bliss.
Yeah. Gotta get it where you...
Yeah, get it while you're trying to surf the layers of crap.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it was a very good little program that we saw on the Big Bend.
Well, it was part of Democracy Now!
Yeah, it was a good story.
A good story about the Big Bend being destroyed, but without even asking people. Of course, they're defying all sorts of laws, and they don't care. They just go in.
A lot of that going around.
Yeah, they just defy all the laws, and people say stop it, and they don't stop it. And you can't even start without permission, and they don't get permissions from anybody. So
yeah,
and it doesn't matter. And it's, you know, who tore down the White House in 3 days without asking anybody or whatever it took. You know, you could just do that.
So
anyway, we should keep an eye out for that. But I'm glad somebody's putting their body in front of the cottonwood trees in Texas, at least.
Go down there yourself, hug a tree, and tie yourself to a tree.
Yeah.
Sit. Some of them are sitting in the trees. Yeah.
Well, I probably would, you know, if I didn't have Lon to take care of.
Yeah. Yes. I'm the millstone around your...
No, you're not.
Otherwise, you would just... Your gossamer body would just...
Otherwise, I'd just be living in a shopping cart in the street. That's what would happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you all for your help and for listening, and find the sacred in your life that you can use as a keystone for bliss. Something you didn't even realize was there.
Well said.
Okay.
Well said.
Now I'm going to have to make a noise.
You're going to have to make a noise to open up the door. And I'm going to turn this back, hopefully without turning it off. And I think we're still on. People are still commenting and stuff. I'm going to roll down my window. There looks like... Oh, our parking place is now open. No, it didn't. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to put this right here. And I just have a couple things I want to talk about.
Cottonwood balls.
First of all, look at that ring. Okay, it looks sort of like a Jupiterian pan kind of Zeusy.
Where did you get that ring?
Steve Abbott Are you watching, Steve?
All blessings to you and Judy.
All blessings to you and Judy, for sure. Judy, I like your haircut, too. You posted your new haircut. Anyway, many years ago, after the first or a few rites of Eleusis and rites of Jupiter that we did, Steve thought this silver Zeus kind of thing looked kind of like me in those days. And so he got me this ring. Now, the reason I'm wearing it now, it's sort of been in my precious little, I've got like a treasure chest, a little wooden treasure chest that my father, get a running, okay, that my father gave me on my 14th birthday when I joined the D Malay. I still got the thing because it's in perfect shape, and you know, it's got little compartments in it, like red velvet, or so that's where I put kind of precious jewelry. I'm not a big jewelry guy, okay. My father's Masonic ring, his Master Mason's ring, was beautiful golden ring, and I inherited it when he died, and I started to wear it when I joined the Masons myself, and it has just disappeared. I lost my father's Masonic ring. It's breaking my... So I don't wear jewelry very much, okay? When I'm doing archbishopy thing, I've got a beautiful ring that Donna Gordon made for me. And it's the best archbishop ring in town. But when I'm not doing archbishopy kind of things, I usually keep that wrapped up in a precious spot. But anyway, the reason I'm doing this is because last Monday night, for Monday Night Magic class, we were studying, we're on a series, a 30-week series of the Vision and the Voice. And we're studying Crowley's visions that he had when joined by Victor Newberg. They were sort of marching across the North African Sahara and doing an aether every night or every day. Some of them are in daytime. And it was coinciding with Crowley's own spiritual journey, if you will. He was getting ready to experience the crossing of the abyss, and taking on his role as a master of the temple. Which, if you master of the temple is someone whose consciousness has transcended duality, and if you're looking at it as a tree of life thing, it's number 3 on the tree of life. And number 3 on the tree of life on the other side of the abyss is really just the opening act of 3-2-1. Okay, so it's big stuff. It's Buddha stuff. Okay, and so his visions were mostly centered on what was happening to him at that time, and because he had sort of also a more universal role to play in announcing the new aeon. It's relevant to us too, but it's not like if you and I would scry that aether. Last night's was the 14th aether, or Mondays, that we would cross the abyss ourselves. but we would, the call itself would alter our consciousness as much as our consciousness is prepared to be altered, I guess, be comfortable with that vibratory level of the 14th Aether, and we see what we need to see relevant to our initiatory thing, okay? And so the last half hour of every class, after we read through Crowley's thing and discuss it, and discuss his footnotes and stuff, it was really cool stuff from sort of a left hemisphere point of view. But then we have to have a pee break. We light a candle, turn out all the lights, and I recite the appropriate call in the Enochian or the angelic language, and we invoke, or at least recognize, the three governors associated with the Aether, and then we're all just sit quietly in the dark. For this class series, we don't have somebody sitting in front of a black mirror and reporting what they see. We're all doing it, okay? But we're scrying just with our eyes closed, kind of thing. And we have visions. And if anyone wants to share, and usually everybody in the room ends up talking about what they were observing in their moments of silent meditation. And I put it that way. It's not like, did a big vision happen to you? A lot of people say, no, I didn't get a big vision or anything. And I'll ask them, oh, what were you thinking about? Then what were you thinking about while you weren't getting anything? Because you can't not think of something. If you could think of nothing, you'd already be a Buddha, okay? And then they tell us what was going on in their mind while they weren't getting a vision. And gall darn if it doesn't sound like what was going through their mind wasn't a freaking vision, okay? So it's all just a matter of where you move your attention. And but anyway, I wasn't getting much, okay, for this one, because it's a little more difficult for me because I'm facilitating the class too, and I have to be thinking about, or is it 1 o'clock in the morning, or but there's something in the 14th Aether, and just as I close, I'm going to read it to you, concerning the nature of becoming a master of the temple, or achieving that level of consciousness. Not only that, but the master of the temple is just the opening act to you becoming a magus, which is the level of consciousness associated with number 2, or Hokmah, on the tree of life, which, dissolving from that into the cool smoothness of number 1, Kether. Okay, so the master of the temple is a pretty big thing. But I want to say this, well, hopefully you're still listening. You've already, in its very true sense, achieved all of those levels represented by each of those Sephiroth on the tree of life. You've already gained knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel. It's already happened, because there ain't no future. There's only a big now. And in that big now, You've already done that. You're just snoozing through. And you've already crossed the abyss. You're already a master of the temple. You're already there, okay? And you're already a magus in number 2. And the logos, you have a universal word that changes the entire universe. You have a word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. And you're already at that cool, smooth oneness of Kevin. It's just that you're not awakened to it yet. Not only that, but you've got a job that you're doing, or from your point of view now, that is your job to do at each one of those levels. And the job you have to do at the number 3 level is what Crowley was getting the message of in the 14th Aether. I'm just, if I can find the book quickly enough before. Let's see. Okay. He's already dealing with an angel that's already doing really fun things and saying wild things to him. I said, "Let the darkness cover me. And behold, I am compassed about with the blackness that hath no name." Remember, Binah. It's black. "O thou," here's the angels talking to him, "O thou who hast cast down the light unto the earth, so thou must do forever." That's your forever job. "And the light of the sun shall not shine upon thee," not up there, okay? "And the moon shall not lend thee of her luster, and the stars shall be hidden, because thou art passed beyond these things, beyond the need of these things, beyond the desire of these things." And then he saw these what looked like shapes of rocks when the vision started to open to him. They look like stones on a plain. What I thought were shapes of rocks, rather felt than seen, now appear to be veiled masters, sitting absolutely still and silent. Nor can any one be distinguished from the others. And the angel saith, "Behold, where thine angel hath led thee. Thou didst ask for fame, power and pleasure, health and wealth and love and strength and length of days. Thou didst hold life with 8 tentacles like an octopus. Thou didst seek the 4 powers and the 7 delights and the 12 emancipations and the 22 privileges and the 49 manifestations. And lo, thou art become as one of these. Bowed are their backs, whereon resteth the universe. Veiled are their faces that have beheld the glory ineffable. These adepts seem like pyramids, their hoods and robes are like pyramids. And the angel saith, verily is the pyramid a temple of initiation. Verily also it is a tomb. Thinkest thou that there is life within the masters of the temple that sit hooded, encamped upon the sea? Verily, there is no life in them. Their sandals are pure light. They have taken them from their feet and cast them down through the abyss. For this is holy ground. Now those sandals were part of the job you're doing. And it falls down through the abyss like a lightning flash below the abyss. And below the abyss, which is where you came from, where you came out of, and where there are still others, like the Bodhisattva who comes back again and again. But this is a little different concept. There is a place within your job, a level, a sephirah, that is sort of your job's center of balance. One might be Jupiter. I think in Crowley's case it was Jupiter. But your center of balance might be someplace else. Someplace else that is an ear to hear your message that your sandal brings below the abyss. Like Crowley said, Buddha probably center of balance was probably in Hod. I believe it was Hod, or the sphere of Mercury, because it's like, okay, think yourself up to a point where you can't, where thinking stops itself, kind of thing. Okay. And that bright light of comfort, and that piercing sword of truth, and all that power and beauty that they have made for themselves is cast from them. As it is written, I saw Satan like a lightning fall from heaven, unquote. And as a flaming sword is dropped through the abyss, where the four beasts kept watch and ward, and it appeareth in the heaven of Jupiter. And the footnote says that's, it says different masters of the temple may be cast into different spheres. But Jupiter is the last, is the first and highest sephirah below the abyss. So that's why the demiurge thinks it's God. Okay. And it appeareth in the heaven of Jupiter as a morning star, or as an evening star, and the light thereof shineth even unto the earth, and bringeth hope and help to them that dwell in the darkness of thought, and drink of the poison of life. 50 are the gates of understanding, and 100, that's another, the 50 gates of understanding is another title of Bina. And 106 are the seasons thereof, and the name of every season is death. Okay, 50 is known as death. During all this speech, the figure of the angel has dwindled and flickered and is now gone out. And now I come back in body, rushing like a flame in a great wind. And the shoe stone has become warm and in its own light. That was the vision. This vision was in two parts. He and Victor did the first part in the daytime, And then they were told that they couldn't get the rest of us in the light of the sun. So that was very interesting. That was December 3rd, 1901, between 9:50 and 11:15 p.m. That was time well spent, I think. Anyway, that's it. I hope I'm still on here. You never know when we're speaking remotely. But that's it for today. Please enjoy this because it's National Potato Day. I always check. And come to think of it, I pretty much like Constance like potatoes in any form. Oh, the ring. This was part of my vision last night. I ask, where is my center of balance? Where's the ear that if I'm ever to wake up to the fact of Master of the Temple, where is the ear that hears my word? And I saw this. I hadn't even got it out of the box in maybe 10 years. And so I put it on this morning. And that is pretty Jupiterian and Pan. It's a combination of Zeus and Pan, which is pretty much makes sense to me. So I put it on today to have our visit. Anyway, until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. If you're in Texas, go down to the border and sit in a tree and protect the Cottonwoods. Until tomorrow, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.